Hi, my name's Aaron Grayman and I'm 17 and I'm from Gateshead. I'm currently enrolled onto a level 3 policing course at Gateshead College. Hopefully from there I'll then move on to studying at Northumbria Uni to study criminology to then solidify the skills that I've learned from college in order to become a detective.
So, what's your normal routine when it comes to testosterone?
So my morning routine, the first thing I do is put on the testosterone. It's literally the first thing I do before I wake up, before I get dressed. It's just to make sure that I've actually put it on. You are meant to put it on at a certain time. It's probably the best when it comes to your blood results and stuff, when you test and stuff. But I used to do that, but I just make sure I put it on as early as I possibly can. So I've been on testosterone for 8 months. 8 months, yeah. So it'll be 9 months soon, and so far it's been good.
So, how much does it normally cost?
So it's £42 a bottle, and because I'm on 2 pumps, it's I need three for 3 bottles per 3 months. So it's in total it's £125.
And what are the different types that you can get?
So you can get shots or needles, or you can get gel. I prefer gel because it's a constant flow of testosterone, and because I'm not the biggest fan of needles. So I guess my transition, it wasn't as straightforward at all. I didn't just wake up and go, okay, this is what I am. It was a very lengthy, confusing process, I guess, from obviously when you start primary school. That was fine, I was obviously a girl then. Moving on to secondary school wasn't that straightforward, I guess, because the words lesbian, bisexual were all kind of people would know what they are now. So I guess I came out as gay very young when I was like 12. I wouldn't necessarily say it was a phase because I was attracted to girls at the time, but I definitely think the way that society was, it definitely influenced it. Probably because everybody was saying, you needed to say who you liked. So that was kind of where I was molding, and kind of the thought process was going on in my head as to who do you want to be. And obviously, as I was getting older, I managed to obviously develop that person for myself and thought, okay, this is who I want to be, not what society tells me who you should be. So yeah, and then obviously when I first left secondary school, came into college, and I remember one of my lecturers asking me, what are your pronouns? At that time, I was non-binary. That's when I started to realise I'm glad somebody's asked me that question so I can actually, explore it. So I definitely feel like if she hadn't have asked me that question, I don't think I'd ever actually be where I am in terms of getting onto testosterone, changing my name, socially coming out and transitioning, and also even medically transitioning.
Have your family noticed any changes?
Yeah, so I think the first change that they noticed was my voice, but they kind of noticed it before me, because obviously they hear me much more than I hear myself, if that makes sense. So yeah, so the first change was the voice, and then gradually I think I started noticing more changes because obviously, I noticed them every day within myself. So, but yeah, the first change was mainly the voice that I kind of noticed and went, whoa. I was about 14 maybe, and I said to my mum, I feel like I am a male, and she went, well, if you feel that way, go and talk to someone about it. Meaning somewhat like a professional, not like in a bad way, so I don't care. And then we kind of had a sit down conversation where I'd said, look, I'm presenting male, and I am I am a male. I then got onto the conversation of, I understand, you're not going to get used to it straight away, but can you maybe try and call me, obviously, Aaron? Me and my mum kind of had we had little arguments because in her eyes, she said that I was pushing her, and I said, I understand that, but if you don't start doing it now, then, what is the future going to look like, essentially? So I kind of just stopped asking her and just kind of let her do her own thing. I'm just grateful that obviously she made the effort. In terms of my dad, it took a lot more for him, and he even admitted to himself, he's going to find it hard. My mom has obviously had numerous conversations to him where she's like, can you start calling him, can you start calling him Aaron? And he's obviously admitted that it's going to be hard, so I just kind of let them do their own thing.
What was your process like with coming out? I know everyone's is different.
So I'd say it was quite straightforward, probably because I didn't tell everyone individually. So I just put like a status on Facebook just saying, look, like, this is what I've kind of came to the basically just explaining my feelings and just saying like, look, like this is who I am, and if you don't support me, then I can't really support you. Do you know what I mean? I felt overwhelmed when I started to consider going private of how long it was going to take me, and then obviously that made me kind of fall into a pit of kind of, I guess, hopelessness, is to kind of think I look at these people, you know, I'm never gonna look like that, I'm never gonna sound like that. So I think the lows was probably comparing myself to other people who'd already had the full transition, you know, and kind of looking and wishing I was like that. I have an appointment with a really good doctor coming up on the 25th of November, and by the end of that appointment I'll hopefully have a rough date for when I'd be looking at getting top surgery. So I just got out of the consultation. I have to wait a couple of days to actually hear back from the doctor, what they've said, and also if I'm approved, how much it's going to cost as well, and see which dates that is available in order for me to have the surgery as well. It was a nerve-wracking experience, especially since I've waited so long for this, but I'm excited that it's finally going to happen, so fingers crossed.
So what advice would you have for a fellow trans person?
All in all, I'd just say be who you want to be, surround yourself with people who support you. Communication is the biggest thing, and at the end of the day it's your life, so just you do you and just don't second guess yourself and worry about what anybody else thinks.